It's not that expensive, but in the big scheme of things, a modern sports car is almost the same price. I don't have a sports car, but I have this, right? I think I'm probably winning at this stage.
Hi guys, BeSnappy here. I'm here with Mark Hall here at the Wings Over Shellharbour Air Show, and he's got this amazing aircraft behind us. All right, Mark, what is it?
This is an L-39 Albatros. It was built in the Czech Republic. It was 2600 built from 1985 onwards. There's still 700 flying in the world. This is the go-to aeroplane for a JetFlight adventure. Tom Cruise has got one. It's amazing.
I've seen quite a few of these actually for sale, and people are actually buying them. So what are people using them for? For private use, joy flights?
There's something like 600 left in the world of the original 2700 built, and some of them in third world air forces, mostly in private hands. There's about 9 in Australia. There's six or seven are airworthy. Some are in private operation, some are in commercial adventure flight operations.
So I've seen F-35s and F-22s, the ladder folds down the side. How do we get an Albatros?
This is a bit of a different era. This is a 1986 aeroplane, but you can see we have a step here, easy to open. The yellow lines show you where you can put your feet. So I'm going to now open the canopy, make sure it's unlocked. It is unlocked. That's another foothold there.
Yeah.
And it's on the end of the yellow line. So when you're coming down, you can see where to put your feet. We don't touch the canopy because that's the moving bit. We touch the top of the seat and the windshield, 2 feet, holding the windshield. And then once you're in here, a foot either side of the stick, and smoothly slide into the front flying seat.
All right, let's see if I can make a mess of this.
Okay. Yep, yellow line, insert, windshield.
Step on the seat.
Both feet on the seat. Once you're ready, no rush, 1 foot either side of the step.
Yeah, just like a glove. I've been looking at L-39s for years, and it's finally awesome to be able to sit in one. All right, Mark, let's cut straight to the chase here. How do you start it?
Okay, it's like any aeroplane. There's a checklist up there, which I could show it to you, but the best way to do the checklist is done in a scan pattern. It starts in your left-hand hip, and you flow around the cockpit. The first thing it says is cockpit stare, which is down there. Fuel cock, which is a red lever. The throttle is the silver device there. Put your hand on that. I go and put the parking brake on. I test the engine systems to ensure the fire detection is working. Make sure that everything's turned off that doesn't need to be on, which would be the air conditioning, the pressurization. So I flow around the cockpit all the way around, end up down the right-hand side. I'm looking at emergency hydraulic valves and circuit breakers. Okay, so it's a flow around the cockpit. Once I've done that, I'm going to start the small jet engine, which is called a Sapphire. Once it starts, its only job is to supply air to the main engine. Okay, and if you look further up, there's another blue covered switch, it just says engine. So if you uncovered that and push that, it takes air from the Sapphire and turns the main engine over. Okay, and at about 20 seconds after I push the button, you hear whoosh, which is what we call light off, which means fuel becomes fire, and the engine accelerates to its idle RPM.
And what about the training? How do you just jump in and fly one?
I've got 26,000 hours. I'm mostly airline flying, and I flew the P-51 Mustang for about, well, I did 176 flights in that exactly. I know how many flights because each one was a privilege, and I did a lot of other Warbird flying. So when I retired from the airlines, this is the segue. This is where I wanted to keep doing this sort of stuff. So I realised I could afford, it's not that expensive, but in the big scheme of things, a modern sports car is almost the same price. I don't have a sports car, but I have this, right? I think I'm probably winning at this stage. But the point is, I was trained by, I had a lot of relevant experience, they call it. I had a lot of aerobatic experience. But I used a military pilot, a retired fast jet guy, a very famous guy, and he did about 5 hours with me. And at the end, he signed me and said, okay, you're safe. And then I went out and practiced and practiced. It's not that hard to learn to fly. It's just that it's going fast. So if you're flying a Cessna, it'll take you a period of time to adjust to not going 2 miles a minute, but going 5 and 6 and 7 miles a minute, okay? And then your brain's got to operate at a different rate. But it's exposure. As we call it in the airlines, it's a monkey trick. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
So you mentioned that it's a similar cost to buy as a sports car, really luxury sports car.
Yeah.
Now, what about the fuel bill?
It burns 12 litres of 3 US gallons of fuel per minute, right? So you can do the maths, so 12 litres times, at the moment, about $3, okay? So that's a huge chunk of the actual bill, okay? maintenance, relatively straightforward. It's quite a simple aeroplane. It's a typical Soviet or Eastern Bloc aeroplane from the 80s. It's got very small fuel tanks. That way they couldn't defect to the west. And it's got about 2 hours of range. So when I take it back to Queensland, I have to stop in Coffs to get fuel. It's all about flying locally for half an hour, 45 minutes, taking somebody for the ride of their lifetime.
So when someone books, do they get to choose like how many Gs they do, or how do you calculate how many Gs you do in there?
Well, when we do the briefing, and this is a typical flight instructor thing, you give them a briefing and we start mild and we could go to wild. It's up to them. I always say, it's your ride. It's up to you. I'm going to keep asking you for more and more. Come on, give me some more. You want some more? And they'll normally go, oh, a little bit more, a little bit more. And they might start at 1.5 to 2 Gs. And the tough ones, often women will take 5 and 6 Gs. Everybody loves it, but it's incremental. So you're in charge of how much G you want. And we start mild. We might have doing Cuban 8s over the ocean or attack a ship. We've got an amazing place here at the Illawarra to fly.
How do you tell someone how to cope with Gs? Like, do you just start flexing? What do you do?
Well, that's a good point. Well, if you look at it online, you'll see that the fighter pilots do a thing called the hook maneuver. It's H-O-O-O-O-K. It's a long hook. And that's the noise they make when they're controlling their exhalation rate. So they take a breath, and rather than hold their breath or exhale, they're going, hook, hook. That you'll see it online. And that's where the name comes from. While they're doing that, they're squeezing their big muscles. They push their heels on the floor, point their toes, heels on the floor, and squeeze their abs and their butt, and you'll feel your quads locked up. With that, you're then in a strong strain position, and that's what you'll see it online. You'll see that the fighter pilots doing that. They have a G cert at about 4 Gs. It squeezes their big muscles, and on top of that, they're adding the hook maneuver.
So how many Gs can an Albatros actually pull?
Normal limit is 10 Gs, but G limits always have about a 50% safety factor. So it's north of 10 Gs. You and I, 4, 5, 6. It's plenty.
Yeah,
it's plenty.
yeah,
It's enough. People go, I want to do 8 Gs. I'm saying, no, you don't. You try it. They'll go, oh, it's about enough, about 4.
Ejecting.
Yeah.
Can you still eject out?
No, not unless you've got something wrong with you, because ejecting is very specialist. If we're at 50 feet being fired at in a war, then you might have to get out rapidly, okay? The reason we don't have ejection seats is because we're not fighting a war. We're having good, clean fun above 500 feet. The punter, or our passenger in the back seat, if they pulled the ejection lever inadvertently, they would disappear out the top. And then 2 seconds later, I disappear out the side. And I don't want that to happen, because we're going to be swimming for no good reason. So they're disarmed, okay? Yeah. We don't even have parachutes, because parachutes, you need to be able to open the canopy. The aeroplane lands at 200 kilometres an hour. If you're trying to put your hand out of the car window at 200 kilometres an hour, you can't open the canopy at 200 kilometres an hour. So the system we use is the aeroplane will glide massively. It's an incredibly good gliding machine. So a Cessna glides at 100 kilometres an hour, comes down at 3 degrees angle towards the earth. The 747-400 over there, it weighs 450 tonnes. It comes out at 3 degrees as well, but it glides at 330 kilometres an hour. This glides at 200 kilometres an hour and comes down about 2 degrees. It's an extremely good glider. And we've always got a position where we can glide back either to the airport or to a road or, say, a beach. So any problems, we're going to glide the aeroplane. As I say,
an unlikely situation though.
It's unlikely in this because it's a jet. As I say to the passengers, just stay with me. Everything will be fine.
All right, Mark, this is an awesome cockpit and an awesome aeroplane. If someone wants to fly with you, how do they find you?
If you look at jetflight.com.au, you'll see what we do, where we do it, and the various price points we have for the flight experiences.
Make sure you go check them out. Make sure you book a flight. That would be one you'll never forget.